Are you ready to level up your game with clean energy boost that is designed to help you be better? Look no further than W Energy. With a unique blend of vitamins, amino acids, and non-tropics, W Energy is the perfect sidekick for gamers, creators like me, and everyone in need of focused energy without the jitters or crash. W Energy isn't just any other energy drink. It's a game changer. Their formula contains a patented neurofactor and coffee fruit cherry extract, giving you laser focus, faster reflex that is unmatched. Say goodbye to sugar, artificial colors, dyes, and maltodextrin. I can't even pronounce that word. Maltodextrin? If you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't drink it. No, instead, say hello to a keto-friendly, zero-calorie drink that's as clean as it gets. Now, are you guys ready for the best part? W is offering an exclusive deal just for you. If you use the promotional code GDO, which stands for Geek Demon Online, if you use GDO at checkout, you'll get a 10% off your entire purchase. So whether you're stocking up on mango orange cream or trying their new Galaxy Grenade flavor, there's never been a better time to dive into W Universe. From the gaming chair to the gym, W Energy is for anyone who wants to push their limits and be better. Don't wait any longer. Head over to W Energy at www.w.gg, pick up your favorite flavors, and remember to use the promo code GDO for 10% off. Be better with W Energy. Your taste buds and your scores will thank you.
Test 1 2 1 2. Lady D, welcome back.
Hey,
everybody. Welcome to another episode of Geek Demon Online. I'm your host, the Geek Demon, and joining me today for the first time in a long time is Lady D.
well, hello there, people. It's been a long time. I'm a little bit awkward.
Yeah, you're like, well, hello there, people.
You don't know, that might be my real voice. I might be putting on a fake personality, and that might be my real
Oh, so for
personality.
9 years, you've been just faking me out.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's the trick, huh? That's the thing, huh? I see how it goes. But no, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had these talks. I'm glad that you're back. You know, the show seems better when there's a dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, when there's two people talking, people tend to listen better. They listen more because they want to hear your side and my side to something. They don't like the one-sided conversations.
Mm.
And I'll be honest, I don't like doing the one-sided conversations. They get boring.
Well, I'm here now.
You are, and it has been crazy. It's been like a month since my last podcast.
You've been busy.
I have been crazy busy. First and foremost, we started a room or a house, apartment, as you will, renovation. Like we're moving stuff around. Not
Yeah.
renovation. Is it called renovation when you move furniture around, or is it just
Redecoration?
Remodeling.
Remodeling.
remodeling?
Okay.
We've been remodeling our apartment. And that's been taking forever because work has me working almost around the clock.
Yeah.
Like literally, I just got done doing, what did I tell you? It was a 9-day stretch with 10 shifts.
Yeah.
And like, I have today off. So I said, hey, podcast, let's do it. Because I don't know when my next day off is. I've got stupid hours. So here we are.
Absolutely.
And I'm rambling like I'm like a idiot because it's been so long.
Now, see, I thought you were going to say bumbling idiot.
Oh, rambling like a bumbling idiot, like an idiot, like Bobby would say from
Yeah.
Supernatural, like idiot.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm rambling because I'm tired. Just exhausted. I'm exhausted. Like as we sit here, the room's still in kind of disarray.
Yeah.
but I don't have the energy to do anything. Like, my will to do anything today is out the window. And also, hey, let's put into also that I've been dieting.
Yeah.
I won't say hardcore dieting, but I've been dieting for a while now, which adds to it because, like, when you work, I don't care who you are, if you work in caregiving, you're not eating healthy.
Okay.
I think that's the hilarious double negative or the yin to the yang. You're in healthcare profession, you are not eating like you're taking care of your health. You can't sit down and prepare a good meal for yourself because you're always on the go. So, like, my meals have been, like, lately, cup of noodles.
Yeah.
Which is not fulfilling or substantially, like, good for you at all.
It's really not. And you have high blood pressure, and that's super high sodium.
Oh, high sodium, high carbs.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not good for me, but it's the calories that I've been trying to keep at an eye on, because that's how you lose weight, is a calorie deficit. So I've been like, okay, I'm going to try to keep a calorie deficit. Today, I just want to pig out. You don't know, like, people that are thin,
Yeah.
people that are just even slightly overweight, they don't know the struggle, okay? I've been doing good. I've been losing weight. But my fat ass wants a dozen cream-filled donuts right now. My fat ass wants a party pizza, like the from Best Way, you know, the 28 cuts.
Yeah.
My fat ass right now wants to go to McDonald's and get a couple Big Macs. Like,
that'll be very difficult for me because I have finally managed to successfully go gluten-free.
I know, and congratulations on that. She has finally gone gluten-free. Now, it's still a struggle for you because you did want to go lacto-ovo vegetarian as well.
Yeah.
That, we found out, is not impossible. But when you cut out the gluten,
it's doable, but I need to see a dietitian to find out how to do it and keep getting all the nutrients I need.
See, I find it's going to be like you said you've done it before.
At one point I went completely vegan.
Yes, but you were also taking in consideration your gluten.
Right.
Now you have to be gluten-free.
At the time, I don't know if I had any health issues. I might have, but if I did, I didn't know. So I didn't have to worry about things like sodium, carbs, gluten.
Yeah, but now you do.
Yeah.
So to be gluten-free, lacto-ovo vegetarian, you were really lowering your options every part of that was lowering your options. Being lacto-ovo, lowering your options. Vegetarian, lowering your options. Gluten-free, lowering your options. Like, you eat, what? A can of peas and you're done. I mean, that's about it.
No, you can eat dairy and eggs.
I'm being facetious, Dee.
No, you're being a jerk.
Facetious.
A jerk.
Facetious. Don't make me punch you in the face.
Don't make me like it.
Okay. I'll try not to. But no, but you've gone gluten-free, which, you know, congratulations. I do admire you on that because that is fucking impossible. I've tried it with you. Like, I've sat there and I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat gluten-free.
You've seen how hard it is to actually get gluten-free items.
And that even tastes good, first off.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just taken into consideration breads and stuff, but the amount of sauces and everything else that you wouldn't imagine having gluten, that has gluten or cross-contamination.
Yeah, because you're the one that taught me about this. When you go gluten-free, guys, and it's not the fad diet ones, like the people that are like, I'm going to go gluten-free because it's healthier. Good for you. That's awesome. But the people that have to go gluten-free.
Yeah.
Have it so hard because not only do you have to find items that say they're gluten-free.
Yeah.
But then you got items that aren't listed gluten-free that are gluten-free, but you got to do your research.
Yeah.
Then there's items that you'd think that are gluten-free, but they're not gluten-free because they were made in or around the same facility as something with gluten.
Oh, which we found that out, I think, a couple times when we got food from restaurants.
Yes.
The first one was a pizza, which should have been obvious.
It was Domino's.
It was a Domino's, their gluten-free pizza.
Because I watched them, remember I told you, I watched them make the pizzas. They use the countertop. They ain't wiping down the countertop or changing the pans.
Yeah, that made me sick. And then the second was, I don't remember what restaurant, but I got something gluten-free. I think it was gluten-free English muffins.
Was it Denny's?
Maybe.
Because I know we went there for breakfast one time and you went when you were doing the gluten-free.
Yeah, but I've learned the hard way that even if they have gluten-free stuff, it's probably going to have cross-contamination. So if you're celiac or do have a gluten sensitivity, you don't want to eat at a restaurant.
Yeah, no. Honestly, though, I will give kudos to one restaurant around here, Best Way. I walked in there the other day because I was getting a pizza for work. Not for me, but for the guys, right? I wish it was for me at that point.
Yeah.
But as I was in there, they have signs. Now, normally, places that say they're gluten-free will just be like, gluten-free options, gluten-free options. They actually have a sign up on their board that says, if you have celiac disease or sensitivity, we are not responsible because you may have... They state...
Good for them.
Yeah, they actually have that sign that says... This is not a valuable option for you for gluten-free. It's going to be cross-contaminated.
Yeah, good. I mean, not good that it is, but, good that they have that warning.
Yeah, because, other people are just going to market. They're going to take the market. I
think because it's still so new. Like, it is a pretty recent thing that more people have been developing sensitivities and stuff like that. I don't know why, but, and also, it's become a recent fad diet.
It has.
So that's why they're like gluten-free options and probably don't have the warnings because most people are using that diet as just a fad diet when they don't need to be on it.
Speaking of fad diets, I finally got my Ozempic back. That was a crazy, a couple months that I wasn't on it. I'm not taking it for weight loss. I'm taking it because I'm diabetic.
That's what I'm on Trulicity for.
Yeah. But apparently celebrities were buying it with, they didn't even need a prescription. They were buying this shit up because it helps them lose weight and therefore making a shortage. And I couldn't get any for a while because there was a shortage because of them.
That's initially why they took me off of Ozempic and put me on Trulicity. And then I had some issues with Trulicity.
Yeah. So... Finally, the shortages stopped. The craze, I don't know if it's died down, but they have enough. I'm back on it.
I think that they've cracked down a little bit.
I hope so. I get having a celebrity status and you want to look thin, you want to be thin. But you know what? You have the money for so many options. Don't take medication that's meant for people that need it because you want to lose a couple pounds.
Yeah, and also, in all honesty... I don't know if your body works like mine does, but you saw me whenever I first went on Ozempic. I couldn't eat because I got sick.
Yeah.
And I dropped a whole bunch of weight, but then I got my appetite back and I gained it back.
Yeah.
It's a temporary fix.
It's a temporary fix. It's not a miracle drug, guys.
No.
It's not going to be like, oh, I lost it and kept it off. That's work.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going through right now is the work part. You've got to take your shot because of my insulin resistance and shit, but then I've got to actually diet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I digress. I'm not here to bitch and moan about all that. We're doing great. You're doing gluten-free.
Yep.
You're on a fast track to getting normalized, and I'm being normalized is because getting the last bit of gluten out of your system from prior.
Yes.
Because that shit can stay in your system.
I haven't had the pains.
All the abdominal pains that you always got?
Yeah. I haven't had brain fog and I haven't had the pain.
That's awesome. That is really good.
My digestive stuff is getting back to normal.
So tonight when we have dinner, we've got to make sure it stays gluten-free.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I'm down to 334, which
Wow.
is 20 pounds, give or take, since the beginning of the year. And what I say, I when we first started talking, I was at over 420 something.
Yeah.
Definitely over 420. Like, I was so big, D, that I couldn't walk from the front door to the mailbox without I think it's my sciatica, like that nerve in your back,
Yeah.
hurting. I would sit down and take a safety pin, poke my leg. You know how you can poke without bleeding? You just can't poke. I would poke my leg and watch bubbles of water. I was retaining so much water that my leg was seeping water. Seeping water.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not, and it's probably why I'm in the health condition I am now.
With diabetes and neuropathy.
Yeah, but you know what? We're kicking it. It's go time.
Yes.
But the diet is a struggle, and I am sitting here. I know I'm not going to do it, and I know I got to keep myself in check, and I got you, thankfully, to help me keep in check.
Yes.
But I'm like, man, a dozen cream-filled donuts, peanut butter-filled, with,
Ew.
hold on, though, with
Boston cream,
with
bitch.
a glass of the forbidden milk. Because that's another thing that happened, but I digress. A glass of forbidden milk. I need milk and a dozen donuts. I need a big party pack from Best Way, the greasy pepperoni pizza squares. I need it.
I'm just telling you this right now. No milk for you. Our bathroom is right next to the bedroom. No milk.
Guys, I lived 41 years drinking. Like, you can ask my friend Dave, the X-Man. Here on, if you listen to the radio, you know who I'm talking about. But if you ever talk to him or meet him and ask him, I used to stop. We would go to Philly to meet, like, my friend Paul. And on the way home, we would stop at a Sheetz type deal, maybe a Wawa or something. And I pick up a gallon of milk and a bunch of donuts. And the drive home from Philly, which is like a 4-hour drive, I would consume a gallon of milk and a bunch of donuts.
Oh my God. I mean, no, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying, like, how long did it take you to drink that milk? Because milk that sits out any length of time is not good.
I'd finish it.
Quickly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, milk in my house was something that didn't last.
See, yeah, your family was different than mine. In my family, it was, you could use it for cereal, but if the milk started getting low at all, it was for cooking only.
But see, hold on, we're going to dive into this a little bit while talking on this podcast, because I want the viewers, listeners, whatever they are, they can chime in if they want. We both grew up poor.
Yeah.
But we have a different poor. Like, I mean, we were both poor. I remember the government issued stuff.
Yeah.
Like government cheese, government peanut butter.
The government cheese was good.
Oh, that was like the best cheese. That was the best cheese. Why they stopped giving it for free? Because from what I understand, the government has like a surplus of this cheese.
Yeah.
Why they stopped giving us cheese, I don't have a clue. But that was like the best freaking cheese. Like, if you wanted to make grilled cheese sandwiches, that was it.
You just get like one of those, I haven't seen anybody have them like at all recently. Those cheese slicers with the handle.
Oh yeah, they have those cheese cutters, like where they're like
yeah,
a wire.
Yeah, but nobody uses them anymore.
Oh, they have them. They have them for like charcuterie boards or like just a cheese knife.
Yeah.
But that cheese, you would need more than a cheese knife. You need like a saw.
Yeah.
It was a thick brick. But I digress. We both lived for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were both that poor. I don't know. There is, a 7-year age gap between us, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So I don't know. Do you remember the paper food stamps?
Yeah, when I was young, my mom had those.
Yeah. I remember having the paper food stamps that had the denominations on them. And I remember going to the store and you were only allowed to get things that were marked for, like, if you had WIC or if you had food stamps, you had to, like, everything was marked what you could and could not buy.
Yeah.
I remember those days. I was young, but I remember those days. But we both suffered that poor.
Uh-huh. Yep.
But here's the poor we're getting at is like struggle meals and usage of things.
Okay.
Okay. I was poor. Let's kind of do like I was so poor that. It'll be like a game. Let's see how we could do this, okay? I was so poor that many meals were ramen noodles with sour cream. That was a meal.
Well, for me, cheese and mustard sandwiches. Nothing else, just cheese and mustard.
Cheese and mustard.
Yes.
See, I laugh. That don't sound
Also
appealing at all.
also-
I like both.
butter and jelly sandwiches.
Okay, I've been there. I've been there with like I've done mayo and jelly.
I would never use mayo.
I have been so poor that this is a struggle meal. Kudos, shout out to my sister for this one, okay? That I ate mashed potatoes, tomato juice, macaroni, and treat all mixed together.
Yeah, I'd go hungry. I wouldn't touch it. No fucking way, man.
But it was the best food ever. Like, oh my God, you hear this. Macaroni, tomato juice, mashed potatoes, and treat. Had no name. That's what it was called. That's the 4 ingredients that go in this. 4 ingredients.
Yeah, you guys ain't ever heard about, like, Hamburger Helper?
No. There was the kids were hungry. Her kids were hungry. There was almost like they had like almost no food in the cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
What they had was macaroni, tomato juice, mashed potatoes, and a can of treat. So Melanie said, F it, make it. And she couldn't keep it in the house. Like they ate it all up. I forget how I was introduced. I don't know if I went to my sister's house and she had it. She made it for her second time because they ate it so much. And I remember going over. I was like, what the hell is this? Gave me some. And I was like, oh my God. Like I wolfed it down. And now we're both working class people, making money,
Mm-hmm.
making living. And I still to this day, every so often, I'm like, man, I can go for a bowl of macaroni, tomato juice, mashed potatoes, and treat.
No. Now, I have had situations, though, like where I mentioned Hamburger Helper,
Mm-hmm.
where, like, you just kind of ate what was on hand, and if you were in the mood for something like that, and you had some meat, no matter what kind, and you had a box of macaroni, you just put the meat in the macaroni.
Yeah, it's like beefaroni.
Yeah, it's good with
Or what they call
hamburger, chicken,
they call it what,
or
is it not stroganoff? Is it stroganoff?
no, stroganoff is different. But oh boy, is stroganoff good.
It's something off. I forget the word for it. It's like a. They said it's like a poor man's something where it's like pretty much elbow macaroni and ground beef put together with a little bit of other stuff. I've always known it as beefaroni. Like you add tomato sauce, it becomes
Okay,
beefaroni.
yeah, no, I'm not talking about beefaroni. I was talking about like mac and cheese.
Yeah, oh yeah, mac and cheese with ground beef in it.
Yeah, any brand of mac and cheese is delicious except for So Cheesy.
Oh, that's so cheesy. Who isn't that over at Aldi's?
Maybe, I don't know. That
No,
was bad.
it was Save a Lot, wasn't it? I think it was Save a Lot. We were walking through Save a Lot, and we were like, "Oh, there's that So Cheesy brand."
Yeah, because Damien used to get it from that school program.
Damien used to get food through the backpack program in school, and they would bring home these mac and cheese boxes of So Cheesy, and it tastes like someone like peeled their wall Like they peeled wallpaper and turned it into cheese. It's like, ugh. Like it had no. I think clay would have tasted better.
Here's exactly how it happened, because you were at work. You made him a box of that macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had left, and Damien used to have issues eating.
He still does.
Yeah, but those days he would sit there for hours refusing to eat. And I was like, Damien, it's macaroni and cheese. It's not bad. And he was like, it's bad. I don't like it. And then I was like, fine, I'll take a bite. And I took a bite and I was like, oh my God, it tastes like Play-Doh.
Instant regret, right? Instant regret.
Yes.
Like in your head, you don't want to admit it, but in your head, you're like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ever feeding this to you.
Yeah.
It was horrible. But yeah, I think it was Save-A-Lot. And that's now gone, by the way. Save-A-Lot's gone. But it was in Save-A-Lot. We were walking through and we saw a box of So Cheesy.
They closed down because of that.
It was because of So Cheesy
yeah,
brand.
it was because of that
People were
macaroni
like,
and
F
cheese.
this mac and cheese. F
Yeah.
this store. We're done.
Yeah.
We got to box our own shit and you're giving us this kind of produce? No. No. Gonna go to Aldi's. But, yeah, that's So Cheesy shit. Okay. I was so poor, right? Did you ever play video games? Did you have a video game system?
Yes.
All right. I was so poor that the first one, the Nintendo, my parents bought me it for Christmas, but it took like 2-3 years before I was able to get one.
Okay. I don't know how long it took my parents. I had a Nintendo.
Okay. I was so poor, right? That now, granted, this is time frames in different areas because you grew up here, I grew up in Maine.
Yeah.
Okay. I was so poor that I've wanted a snowmobile. My parents got me a snowmobile for Christmas. But it was a 1978 Polaris Colt. This thing, I loved it dearly, and I ran the shit out of it. But I'm talking, this is the 90s,
Yeah.
and my parents bought me a 1978 snowmobile.
Yeah, no, my parents would have never been able to get me anything like that. See, I don't think my dad worked at all. And so my mom, it was just me and my mom in this apartment. Well, not in this apartment, but
No,
in the
I know what you
apartment that we
meant,
lived in.
My parents didn't work. We were poor because my dad was on Social Security
Yeah.
and a pension check. Because I remember us being rich for like seconds. Okay?
Oh, kind of like how when oh, crap.
Oh, good job. You just got creamer all over this stand.
Shush.
How did you miss your coffee cup? You were right there.
I have shaky hands and a fan blowing on me.
Oh, okay. We'll blame all that.
Shit.
But yeah, you nice mess.
Yeah.
But anyway, my kind of like how you know how like you fought for Social Security
Yeah.
and then you finally got it.
Yeah, it was a nice however long it was until I stopped getting lump sums.
Yeah, well, that's what they did with my dad. And I was only, I don't know, 2-3 years old, maybe 4. Because I remember the time frame. I remember stuff about it. I just don't remember why and all that stuff. I was too young for that.
Yeah.
But I remember we were living in a trailer park, and we would go rent movies like every weekend. We had money to go rent movies every
I miss
weekend.
those days.
I remember one or two Christmases where I had all this stuff. Like I had the Voltron castle underneath the tree. I had a walking robotic Voltron. I had a My Little Pony. Don't judge me, anybody who's listening to this, but I had a My Little Pony because I wanted one. I mean, I was styling and profiling there for 1 or 2 years because my parents got that money. But then, when everything settled and fizzled down, they were making, I think, if I remember correctly, with my dad's pension and my mom's Social Security,
Yeah.
I want to say it was like something like $1,000 a month to pay water, electric, sewage, rent, car payment, raising a child.
I'm not very good with knowing like inflation rates and everything like that, but I do know that I don't know how different, but I do know that $1,000 would go further than like what I make a month would go further than what it does now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like at the end.
Yeah.
No, that was what they were making. I remember my mom. Oh God, rent was $500-$600.
Mm-hmm.
She would pay rent, but it always play like a bill roulette. What bill was not getting paid this month?
Oh God, yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I pay the electric bill this month, but the water's going to be neglected. The next month, the water gets paid, but maybe the whatever other bill. You know, it was kind of like, how it was the saying they used to say, you rob Peter to pay Paul. That was a saying that I've heard multiple times growing up. You rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
And that's what Mom would do. Because she paid the bills. Dad was done. He was a stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mom didn't work either, but she was the one that took Dad's pension checks and his Social Security and paid all the bills.
Yeah.
And like I said, she would pay this bill, not this bill. Then next month pay this bill, but not this bill. Next month pay this bill, but not this bill. Meanwhile, trying to raise me, who, you know, I'm a kid. There's things I want in life.
Yeah.
I got these things, and I appreciate my parents for it, but I always got them later. Like, it would take them a while to be able to obtain the stuff that I wanted.
And see, for me, I would just never get it.
Well, you had a rougher growing up, though. Like, we're not even going to dive into that too much because that's personal stuff.
Oh, well, no. I'm talking about like the 1 year on my Christmas list, I had put that I wanted a telescope. I saw something about it, a telescope somewhere in like a magazine or in commercial on TV. I don't remember. And so I wanted a telescope. And I never got one. And this is the sweetest thing you ever did for me. But sitting at the house, you got me a telescope because I had wanted one so bad when I was a kid and I never got one.
Yep, I remember doing that too. I remember like you told me about the story about always wanting a telescope.
Yes.
So I went and got you a telescope.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how freaking, okay, as a kid, I was so used to this kind of stuff. And like, I guess I was so humble as a kid. I remember one time for my birthday, my grandma was like, "What do you want?" And I had no knowledge of, we were poor. My gram had more money than us. So I was like, cottage cheese.
Now you know you're poor when you say, "What do you want for Christmas?" Cottage cheese.
It was my birthday, but yeah.
Yeah, that's when you know you're poor, D. Maybe you do have me beat on the poor scale. Like, what do you want for your birthday? Cottage cheese.
So I was lucky. My gram got me the cottage cheese and these little like miniature Spice Girl dolls.
Oh, those miniature Spice Girl dolls.
Oh, you've seen them?
I've seen them all. I was a Closet
Yeah.
Case Spice Girls fan.
Yeah. So I did get my cottage cheese, but I got something extra too.
You're talking about a guy during the Spice Girls craze, I went up to New Jersey to see some of my family for like the first time in ever. And while there, that was the first time I went to Englishtown flea market with my mom. And walking around, I was big into Spice Girls. And I found like Spice Girls lollipops that were individually wrapped, and each wrapper had a different Spice Girl. So I had all 5 lollipops, and I had them in my collection. I always wanted but never got the Spice Girl dolls. Yes. Don't judge me, people. I know. I hear you right now judging me. But I always wanted the Spice Girl dolls. Never got them. But yeah, I was a closet case Spice Girls fan. Like, I loved the movie Spice World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 1 hour of Girl Power. That was the one that I had. I never got to have Spice World, but I had one of their movies called 1 Hour of Girl Power.
In retrospect, the title Spice World sounds like it should be a porn.
That's how I discovered the Spice Channel.
You're like, oh, Spice Girls.
Yes.
If you want to be my lover.
Oh, not that kind of lover. What the fuck?
Gotta get with my friends. Oh, wow.
I was in my mom's room. She was at work. And I'm just scrolling through the TV Guide channel. And then I see Spice. And I was like, yes, Spice Girls. And I clicked on it. And in my mom's room, it came up. It wasn't in my room, but it did in her room. And I was like, whoa, what? And that's how I got introduced to those types of movies.
Thank you, Spice Girls. Yeah, wow. I got nothing off of that, D. I mean, I have my own perverted stories, but that takes the cake.
Hanging out with your friends, watching static, hoping that something pops across the screen for a split second?
No, I actually hung with my friends watching legit porn.
Oh, see, no. My friend had, it like came in, you could hear it, but you couldn't see it because it was static, and it had like that like white line in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? The static around the white line. And then occasionally something would flash across the screen, and you'd be like, oh, look!
But you could hear it.
Yes.
So you could hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Just can't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a topic for a different story. Like, we might talk about porn later on in life, but right now we're talking about being poor. Poor and porn. What a combination.
It's only one letter.
Poor. Get rid of an O and add an N.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both grew up poor.
Here's another example. And this is one that I didn't even think about at the time. But when I see the picture now, it makes me kind of sad. I need to say some things before I get to it, because you know, but other people don't know.
Okay.
My mom was a young mother.
Mm-hmm.
So she had me.
Yeah, she was only a couple years older than me.
Yeah. So my mom was 17 when I was born. And she got pregnant again like a year and a half later. And she knew that she wasn't going to be able to support 2 kids at such a young age. So she put my other sister up for adoption. Now, she knew the people that adopted her. And so like once or twice a year, my sister would come visit. And there's this picture of us, this professional freaking picture of us, where there we are with our Barbies, and there her Barbie is looking like Hollywood royalty, and mine looks like she's homeless. I'm not even exaggerating. She had ratty hair in this ugly freaking dress. It was like, she looked dirty, and I was like, oh man.
You can tell your status by the Barbies you play with.
Yeah.
Your Barbie.
Blair had an American Girl doll.
Blair had the American Dream Barbie, and you had the Hood Rat Skank Bitch Barbie.
Yep.
I still call you that every so often. It's funny. That one time you told me somebody called you that, and it just stuck in my head. You're a Hood Rat Skank Bitch.
Yeah. Because I have tattoos and piercings. I'm supposed to be a stupid person, I guess. So somebody was like, and now you Hood Rat Skank Bitch turn into a scientist or something like that. I don't remember their exact words, but they called me a Hood Rat Skank Bitch.
Yep, and you are my Hood Rat Skank Bitch.
Awesome.
So, it's awesome. Yeah, we were We were poor. And I don't know where I was going with this whole how poor are we story.
Doesn't matter. It's been a while. We can just
Yeah, it was just we were poor. We were poor. Nowadays, what sucks is we're still technically poor.
We're better off than we were, but we're struggling now. We noticed the struggle more than when we were younger because we didn't have to worry about money when we were younger.
No, because we didn't have the bills. We just had our parents that occasionally had money.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I want, and be like, yes or no. That's about it. Well, I got a car payment. I got insurance. Because right now, okay, everybody, this is my struggle. I make $19 an hour, which is great money around here. Right? That is really good money for Altoona. $19 an hour. 40 hours a week. But I have a $350 car payment. I have, which we split though. We have a $650 rent.
Yeah.
I have another loan that I pay like $190 on every 2 weeks on, so it's about another 300 something every month I have to put out there. Car insurance, which is like $108 a month. Car insurance. $45 for cell phone a month. Payments on credit cards that I had to max out to do other things, so I'm paying on those, which, no big deal. But like, I get by. We get stuff that we need. We have money, but the struggle is real.
For me, the struggle is I only get 9 something a month.
Yes.
Right? And I've got one dog. I have 2 dogs, but I have one dog that has some special needs requirements. I can't just go buy the cheapest food for her because in those foods there are things that can cause seizures, which is what she struggles with. And then on top of that, she's on 2 different meds, so I have to buy her wet food also.
Yes. You use the wet food to give her meds.
Yeah, which means that she's getting 2 meals a day of wet food. But I also have to buy the dry food.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, this one, I guess, isn't necessary, but is in a way if you don't want a destructive dog, because she's high energy and I'm not.
Right.
Bark Box, where she gets the toys every month,
which is a subscription box.
Yeah, and then I give them because we have 2 dogs, the one don't play, so we only get 1 Bark Box, and I get extra treat club.
Yeah, like I said, we struggle, but we're not struggling. Like,
we're surviving, but things get tight.
It gets tight every month. Like I don't have the money to go out to eat once a week.
No,
I don't have the money to go to every convention, or if I go to a convention, I don't have the money to go buy like 5 autographs anymore.
Right.
But we get by. We have clothes. We get food. All our lights are on. We enjoy the luxury of internet and a couple of subscription channels here and there.
Yeah.
We play the Xbox. We have our cell phones. We get by.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where I was going with that either. Like, I'm just sharing with you guys everything. I grew up poor. I'm still poor, but I'm like a working poor now. It's the working poor.
What it is we're still poor. We're just not on the verge of being homeless anymore poor.
Right. We're not on the verge of, what do I have in the cabinet that I could throw together to make dinner? We could actually make a dinner.
Oh, let me tell you about that. I've been so poor before when I was like 17 or 18 years old, where all I fucking had was green beans.
That's all you had was green beans.
For like a month straight.
Talking about greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
I wish it was all of that. No, just green beans. Every meal, green beans. And then you just get so tired of it. You just try to find different seasonings to add some different flavors. And for years, I wouldn't touch green beans after that.
You know, I had the same thing. Not that I was so poor I was eating green beans, but as a kid, I remember we went over to this family member's house up in Jersey, and there was corn on the cob.
Yeah.
And I went to friggin' town on corn on the cob. So much so that I ended up getting sick to my stomach and puking.
Yeah.
I was maybe kindergarten, first grade at that point. I did not touch corn on the cob again until I started getting into my teens.
Oh my God, something similar happened to me whenever I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
We had shells and cheese, and I was fine. And then we went to the store. I think I don't know if it was just me and my mom or if it was me, my mom, and my gram. It might have been all three of us. I can't remember specifically. But we went to the store, and then I just started feeling upset. And I was like, Mom, I'm not feeling good. And she's like, you're going to be okay. And then I ended up puking a lot. And you could look and see that it was shells and cheese. And the first time, I wasn't even done. I did it a second time. And I wouldn't touch shells and cheese till I was about an adult.
That's nasty. And you know what's funny though?
All over the store.
This'll make us even closer because I had my own mac and cheese experience.
Oh God, yeah.
There's a restaurant up in the Duncansville Plaza intersection right by the Meadows. There's a Chinese restaurant right there.
Is it still open?
It's still open. I forget the name of it, but there's a Chinese restaurant right there, like on the Ollie side in that plaza. And me and Dave used to frequent there all the time because it was only like $6.50 all you can eat. So we called it cheap Chinese. Anytime we got picked up, it's like, hey Ken, want to go get some cheap Chinese? And I'm like, yeah, I got $6.50. Let's go, right? They had a mac and cheese there.
Yeah.
That was sweet. Sweet mac and cheese. I don't know what they used.
Gourmet buffets, I've noticed, is sweeter than most mac and cheese.
Yeah, but I mean, this was like I think
they were trying to turn it into
milk.
A dessert or something.
Yeah, it's like they used sweetened condensed milk instead of regular milk.
I have a story after you're done.
So, okay, well, hold that thought. I got some on my plate, and I was like, ooh, this is good. For some reason, I was liking this mac and cheese. So I went back up and got a plate full of this mac and cheese. And I ate that like there was no tomorrow. And me and Dave were like talking, having a good time. We left the Duncansville Plaza. Now, if you can tell distance and everything, we left Duncansville Plaza.
Yeah.
By the time we got close to Walmart, which is just, I don't know, quarter to half a mile away, maybe a mile, I was like, Dave, pull over. He had to pull over. I opened up the passenger door, and I was just like, just all this mac and cheese. Just all this mac and cheese came. And he's like, Kenny, was it the mac and cheese? I'm like, it's just a sweet coming up. I was so sick from eating the sweet mac and cheese. So every so often after that, Dave would be like, hey, Kenny, you want some sweet mac and cheese? I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. But go ahead. You have a story about sweetened condensed milk, I assume?
Yes, I guess this could kind of go in with the...
You're so poor?
Poor, yeah. So my mom made... my mom one time was making hamburger helper.
Oh, God.
Yes. And it's all done. She brings me a plate into the living room, and I take a bite, and it tastes really, really freaking weird. And then I'm like, why is it so sweet? And she started laughing, and I was like, what did you do? And she's like, we didn't have milk, so I thought that if I just used a little bit of sweetened condensed milk, you wouldn't really taste it. Oh, you could taste it.
I bet. Sweetened condensed milk is sweet.
Yes.
Like, you just boil it in can, and you got caramel.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, she thought that... That was her solution to not having milk. She thought that you
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to taste it.
For those listening
you
at
could.
home, if you're hungry and you need milk for a savory dish, do not use sweetened condensed milk.
Now, something my mom has done, because she was always a coffee drinker, and when it's in a meal, you don't really notice it, is mixing. Now, it takes some work because it doesn't mix well in cold water, but creamer and water.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Where I've had to make like some sort of milk, so I was like, eh. But I only used it for like little things. I never used it for like big dishes. But yeah, I've mixed creamer and water. Powdered milk. Do you remember powdered milk? Did you ever have to use powdered milk?
I don't think I've ever used powdered milk.
We've had powdered milk in the past.
Oh, wait, no. I tried it. We got some from First Stop Shop one time, and I did not like it.
Yeah, because you got to make it just right, and it just tastes funky.
I did not like it.
Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, you know you're poor when that's powdered milk is the milk you can afford. You can't afford the real milk. You have to have powdered milk. But despite being poor, my mom always had money for Schwann's. Like, we used to have a Schwann's. Do you remember Schwann's? Do you know what Schwann's is?
Oh, we never got anything like that. Anytime, like, they would come around or whatever, my mom would be like, we don't have the money for that.
See, my mom always had, like, she would get... I love my mom dearly, but I swear to God, she had to have her strokes before I was born, because my mom would do some of the weirdest shit. She would buy this soda stuff. It was a jug. If anyone who knows can chime in on this, like if you remember any of this or bought from Schwann's in the past, it was like a jug, but it was like soda concentrate. It was like the syrup for soda, right?
Yeah.
And my mom would make us kids drinks by pouring syrup in a glass of water and serving it to us. So we had this sweet cola water. Sweet cola water, because it didn't have carbonation. She didn't know the proper mixture, so it was just like sweet cola water. Just that was a drink. It was like we had drink.
And you want to hear something funny? Okay, we drank Gallagher's Diet Lemon Tea.
Mm-hmm. Your house was big on the lemon tea.
Oh yeah, and you drank stuff like that, right?
Kind of, some here and there.
Which one of us has dental issues?
I've lost a couple teeth in my time, but in all fairness...
I hadn't gone to a dentist in 15 years, and they told me how surprised they were at how good my teeth were, and I had no cavities.
In all fairness, the first teeth I lost, the dentist said it was because of a cavity that wasn't preventable. It was something, I forget what it's called, but it's like, it was... Like, I had soft teeth or something. Like, it was soft, and I don't remember what it was called, but he was like, yeah, not your fault. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, all I had, the biggest problem I had was whenever I had gone to the dentist, after 15 years, was they said I had some slight plaque buildup in between my teeth.
Jesus, my phone going beep, beep, pop,
But
beep,
that was
pop.
it. They were surprised.
But yeah, how about this? How about this for a topper, right? So poor that you had a black and white TV.
No, but we did have one of those floor model ones.
I think everybody our age had to have had a floor model at some point.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like that was the TV. Like if that was the living room TV.
And there was no moving them. You better put them, as soon as you put them in, you put them where you want them permanently, because those things were heavy.
No. Okay, hold on. You want to talk about heavy? We had a floor model TV. When the TV, I don't even know if the TV died, but if your TV died,
you just use it as a stand.
Yeah, then it became just a countertop stand. But you want to talk about fucking heavy? My parents, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where, because I think it was after I moved back from Florida.
Yeah.
Had one of the original flat screen TVs.
Okay.
A large flat screen TV. The screen's flat. The back of the TV was not flat.
Right.
This mother effer was almost as tall as me
Mm-hmm.
and just as long. And it took two people to pick it up and move it because it was so freaking it was a heavy ass floor model TV.
You know what, though? I will say this. While things that we have now, like electronics that we have now, look better to the eyes, the way that things used to be made, man, they were indestructible. I have one of those. I don't have a floor model TV, but it's one of the older, just
Old
regular,
box,
yeah,
like a
one of the
box
old
TV.
box TVs, and it's
Analog, I think, or whatever they call television.
at the house in the attic, and I was trying to move it with somebody else, and we dropped it. No damage whatsoever. Those things are indestructible.
Up until 2000, up in my room, I had one of those old TVs that had the knob that click, like you only had 13 channels. You
Yeah.
just click, 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 and you only left it on channel 2 or 3 because like my video game systems would go for the TV that way.
Here's another being so poor story. Being so poor that you have one channel to watch in Altoona. It's channel 10. Do you remember that?
I honestly can't recall that. I think my parents...
Well, I think there might have been 2 channels, but it was mainly channel 10.
Yeah, I think my parents kept cable because my dad liked to watch stuff, and my mom was all about, he worked hard for his money, he's retired now, it's his money. If he wants this, he can have it.
There was a long stretch of time where we didn't have cable, and there was also quite a few years there where we had, I can say this now, illegal cable.
I've been there. I've had an apartment that I moved into. I moved into the apartment, and there was a TV cord, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's where I plug into TV, and I'll call for cable. I plugged into TV, and I got all the channels for free. Come to find out, I followed the cable outside the apartment. It was spliced into a box that went upstairs to the upstairs apartment.
Yeah.
And for months, while I lived in that apartment, I was getting free TV, and I didn't say a damn thing to anybody.
No, see, we knew somebody that knew how to, I don't know what the process is, how they did it, but, sometimes people knew how to turn on the cable illegally for you.
Yeah, we didn't have those connections. So my free cable was that one time.
I've lived in a place where we did that too.
I didn't want to talk about porn.
Okay.
If we're talking about free shit now, though,
Yeah.
all right? I worked at something Italian that was connected to the Holiday Inn in Altoona when I was a young kid, right? Teenager years. I was 18, 19 years old. And one of the jobs, not only was I a dishwasher, but anytime that there was a party or anything, like somebody rented out one of the rooms to party in, we would have to set up the tables and the banquet halls, right?
Yeah.
So my dishes were done. I'm helping them set up the tables in the banquet hall. And as I'm doing that, a guy turned around and showed me. He was like, hey, check this out. He wheeled in a TV because there was a TV stand. He wheeled it in, plugged it into the banquet hall room, and there was porn. Free porn. Free porn. I was like, oh, this is crazy. So the next day go by. Finally, hey, Ken, when you're done cleaning up, I need you to help set up the banquet hall. I was like, no problem. I brought a VHS tape with me.
And you recorded some.
I set up and I hit record and I just I didn't have the TV on. I just pushed record and did my thing.
Now everything's so easy and there's such a variety. Back then, it was like you had either the same magazine or the same movie and you watched that on repeat.
I had 3 or 4 hours of free porn. Thank you, Holiday Inn. What's funny is I think that was the same porn that a while later, me, Paul, and another friend of mine named Jeff, they came over. We're sitting in my living room because this is when my first apartment by myself. We're all three men. Yeah, all three men. We're sitting in my apartment on my couch watching porn, right? And I just remembered Jeff. Okay, me and Paul are trying to concentrate on the women.
Yeah.
Right? We're trying to concentrate on the women so bad because we're manly men. We're watching these hot ass women, right?
Yeah.
And Jeff, out of nowhere, do you see the size of that guy's dick? And I'm like, like, no,
Yeah.
Jeff, I wasn't. But
Yeah,
thank you.
buddy, this is porn. They don't pick the average guys.
That was a weird night. Because things happened that night. I had an ex come over because she called me while we were watching porn. She goes, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just sitting here with a bunch of friends watching porn. She's like, oh, can I come over? I'm like,
Yeah, that's weird.
sure. So she came over. No, hold on. It gets weirder. She came over. We're sitting there drinking. Again, I'm not 21 yet. Oh, no, wait. I was 21. My bad.
So you were
This
literally grown-ass
Yeah.
men all watching porn
Yeah,
together.
we're- yeah.
I've never done that with friends.
I forgot.
as an
This was
adult.
after I came back from Florida. So, yeah, I was 21 at this time.
Oh my god.
I'm sitting there drinking. I'm drinking Smirnoff Ice. They're drinking whatever beer. No, we're watching porn. She comes walking in. She's like, can I have a beer? I'm like, here, have a beer. She starts drinking beer. We're sitting there. And it was weird because all three of us guys had our shirts off. Don't ask. Don't
Were
ask.
you guys all on the verge of putting your hands down your pants?
No. We were just shirtless, watching porn, drinking beer, like normal red-blooded Americans, okay? And she comes in, she sees us, and she's like, I want to take my shirt off. And Jeff was a horn dog, so he was like, go ahead. Why not? We're all guys here. We're all dudes. So she took her shirt off. So here's my ex sitting topless. We're all sitting there drinking, right? Jeff and Paul go, well, we're going to go to Sheetz. We're going to do a Sheetz run. I'm like, okay, whatever. They take off to go to Sheetz. One thing led to another. I'm in the bedroom with my ex.
Of course, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, but we do our thing. I come out of the bedroom. Jeff and Paul come in the house and they're like, so Ken, how was watching porn? I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, you want to see the video? They went around my house. They didn't go to Sheetz. They went around my house, up in my window, and recorded me having sex.
Oh my god. Now, see, you might not have been mad, but I would have been furious.
You couldn't see anything. You just heard. But I was like, really, guys? They laughed. We all laughed and joked about it. But yeah, that was a time. That was a time. Yeah.
Yeah?
All thanks to free porn.
I've had awkward sex moments happen.
I bet.
I almost caught myself on fire one time.
With sex?
During.
And guys, that's all the time we have tonight. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear about Deidre setting herself on fire during sexy time, give this episode a like, give us a follow, and stay tuned. You never know what you're going to hear on the next episode of Geek Demon Online. But until next time, I'm the Geek Demon.
And I'm Deidre.
Lady D, Deidre. Which one are you going by?
Kenny, you call me Lady D, and I keep telling you I don't like...
Okay, so it's Deidre. And until next time, guys, stay freaky, stay geeky, stay nerdy, stay dirty.
Bye!
Peace!